Hey, what's going on, everybody? Welcome back. Droid Life Show, episode 31 tonight on this beautiful, lovely summer evening. I'm your host, Kellen. With me, as always, Tim, Ron, and Eric. Everybody say hi real quick.
Hey guys, how's it going?
Hello.
Hey, hey.
So, lots going on in the last few hours. Wow, Ron.
Are those is
We've
that
got
a Hangout extension or
It's
those
a
are actually
prescription.
those are your real glasses?
The prescription. What do you want me to do?
these are my prescription fake Kanye's.
Mhm.
Just within the last couple of days, we've got two events that we need to talk about right away. So we've got Verizon hosting an event in New York City on the 23rd, and then we've got Google hosting one in San Francisco the following day. So we'll talk about these first, just because they're kind of the hottest topics of the moment. Verizon didn't say much; they just said that they are. Let me get the exact quote here, assuming I have it somewhere. They said that they're going to show off their most popular family of devices, at least the next generation of them. So to all of us, that means this is the new Droid
It's the
lineup.
Spectrum family.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we're going to show off the new Spectrum at a press event. So that's
We're going
really
to show off our
funny.
brand new Continuum 2.
The
I
fact
just-
that there actually is like two Spectrum devices and there's technically a Spectrum family is really sad.
I can't
know how
trust
that made
Verizon
it.
anymore after we got Viva Moviled on. Like anytime they say we're gonna announce something, I just
Nothing is confirmed at this point.
they've broken my heart.
I think I'm more surprised that you each have like Kanye shade glasses handy. Like,
Yeah, man.
it's okay that you have them, but the fact that you each had them handy is like
Keep them
blowing
on
my
me
mind
at
right
all
now.
times.
Do you
It's
not have
too-
them sitting on your desk?
It's
what
too
do you-
much.
Where are you putting
At
them?
all
I do
times.
feel sort of left out.
These are glow in the dark too, by the way, in case.
It's just there's a party going on in the middle. That's all you need to know.
There's-
Pretty much.
That's right, there is. Okay. Anyways, Verizon. Droid event. We're going to get the Droid Ultra, the Droid Max, and the Droid Mini. And, we don't really know that many specs about them, which we were talking about before we went on air, which is kind of surprising. Usually when we're like on the verge of a new event, and new device unveiling, we sort of know everything these days. But these we kind of think 1080p display on the Ultra and Max. We're pretty sure the Max is going to have like 2-day battery life. The Mini we know like absolutely nothing about. We're assuming a lower res screen and a slower processor, but they've actually done a pretty good job keeping things under wraps. One thing we do know for sure, which came out this morning, was that the Droid Ultra is going to come in red, and I think it's safe to say that the Droid Life team is not a fan of the glossy red Droid Ultra. I don't know how you guys feel. But so, we'll be there in New York to cover this. What do you guys like? Is there anything Verizon can show you that's going to say like, yes, I really want the Droid Ultra or the Droid Max or the Droid Mini? Like, are you excited about this event at all? I kind of don't get the feeling that everyone's super. I don't know. Somebody just kind of weigh in on that.
I don't think there's much to be excited about. I mean, we all want top tier specs and crazy stuff to happen, and it's not really going down with the Ultra. I mean, from what we do know, it's not very impressive. So, and even since we've seen the device leaked already and kind of what it looks like, it's not sexy. It's not a nice looking phone. It just looks like a razor. So I'm over it, as one would say.
Yeah, you're right. It's kind of ugly and it looks like last year's Razer HD, but with
And
the
I-
potentially
Yeah.
uglier back.
Yeah,
if
and I
that's
get the
possible.
feeling the camera's gonna suck, like every other Motorola phone does. So, yeah, Motorola
Motorola
just needs to
haven't
really. I'm more excited for like the Moto X, but not so much the Ultra. So,
Well, do you get like I get the feeling that Motorola was like they have the Moto X coming,
right.
but then they had these Droid ones like probably in a contract with Verizon that this year they had to put these out, right? So this event, it's not even like a Verizon and Motorola branded event. It's just Verizon. It's almost like Motorola said, yeah, you just do that. We got something else we want to show everyone later.
Yeah.
So here's the phones that we had a contract with you for. You just do your little thing and promote those. We're going to do this other one that we really want to talk about.
Yeah, they don't want to spend any money marketing these things because these are not what they're proud of. I don't think these are like flagship
Right.
devices in their eyes or anything like that. So
Yeah,
and
and I think
Verizon,
Go ahead, Eric.
Verizon's going to spend enough money marketing themselves anyway. Motorola doesn't, have to step up and do that.
This is sorry, Eric or Ron, go for it.
That's fine. I'll just keep on partying.
I know. I don't take you seriously because you got those glasses on.
That's weird. I don't know why you would think that these prescription glasses are not serious, but okay. But I think well, the other side of that too, though, is Motorola definitely doesn't want to have to put out a bunch of PR for a bunch of phones that they don't They want people excited about the X. That's what they want people excited about and talking about, not some random Droid phones that only Verizon people can get.
Exactly.
So.
Yeah, this is just business as usual, I think, when it comes to Motorola and Verizon and their relationship. And
well,
maybe, but it might be.
Yeah.
It might also be business coming to an end, though, too. I think Motorola wants to move away from that.
Yeah.
I don't think it's necessarily all Motorola's fault. This happens with every carrier. Verizon always gets the redheaded stepchild of whatever flagship phone they have. Except for
use the word red.
Yes.
Sorry, Ronald.
That was pun intended.
Yeah. No, I don't think. Oh, you were making fun of the phone, not Ron.
I have strawberry blonde hair. Emphasis on the blonde.
Yeah.
Come on.
Sorry.
That should be obvious.
No, I forget. I forget now. Oh yeah. Nope, I forget again. Never mind.
Well, I do. Okay. Yeah, I mean, I think it's pretty clear that this should have come in purple. I mean, we could say that, right?
Oh, it will.
Dude, there's always time.
A year and a half.
Give it a few years.
A year and a half?
Give it a few months, and it'll come in
when
purple.
it's about to
and
disappear
blue
forever and no one's bought it, they'll do $99 for the brand new purple one.
They'll find some random holiday to launch it on, like Columbus Day or something.
And then the year after that, Ron will randomly show up with it.
Yeah.
Hey, look at these edges. Totally not lined up.
So we'll be at the event. We'll see what's going on. I guess we're kind of going in not expecting to be completely blown away by whatever is going to happen. I think we're a little excited just to see new Motorola phones, but
yeah. But the one thing too though is 48 hours of battery life is pretty crazy if that's true.
Mm-hmm.
That's and still nobody is even close to touching the Max. I mean, as far as I haven't seen any phone that's anywhere near that. So I mean, if they're doubling that, that's pretty crazy. Even if you if you're looking for a phone that has a decent screen and you don't really care about the camera or how it looks aesthetically, it's a really good phone. If you need a phone this is gonna last you through the whole day at work and then some, that's a good workhorse.
Yeah, okay, I can understand the workhorse aspect of it, but I mean, if you want a phone that does look good possibly and performs somewhat well, it doesn't freeze up on you or lag while you're just trying to do simple tasks, then you probably don't want to go for that phone.
We haven't seen how this version works, and I'm assuming
not this version. Yeah,
I'm assuming they're gonna be ripping out even more bloatware with this one. So I mean.
Oh yeah, but in regards to the Max and the Razer Max and the Razer HD and all that stuff, I mean the phones just don't work very well. I mean you got a gig of RAM and these dual core processors.
But that'll change. I mean this phone should have better specs and it's gonna be running the exact same version of Android. So I imagine it'll run better. But I would
imagine.
There are certainly people out there that are going to want to have a phone that they can do email, texting, and all that kind of stuff, and be able to say, okay, I don't have to plug it into a charger because they don't have a charger around because of whatever work they're doing, but they need to be on the phone all the time. That's pretty huge. And that's something that's not really talked about. But I mean, they're the only ones that are really putting out a phone that can last that long, and that's something to note.
Sorry, go ahead, Kellen.
I was just gonna say I would bet that next to the Galaxy S3 and 4 that the Droid Razer Max HD is probably their next in line top selling phone just because of battery life, because people do buy it just for that. But yeah, the original ones, Tim, you're right. The performance on those things is terrible. But this one, you've got to assume it's going to be a Snapdragon something or other, probably a 600 maybe.
600.
It should be at least the Ultra and Max should be a pretty powerful phone, and I would assume that Motorola's. I think they're still just trying to really thin down their skin, so it's going to be mostly stock. It should be okay. Actually, I'm looking at this picture of the ugly red version, and you know, it has capacitive touch buttons, so they're not on screen, and it has the back, home, and multitasking, which HTC did with the One X last year. So now is Motorola joining the black bar menu party at the bottom? They're going to, right? Like, we're going to see that on all of these new Motorola phones now.
Most likely. Unless they were smart. They could be smart and, you know, have thought ahead, but...
Yeah, they could be smart and actually let you map the buttons, which HTC like will let you do, and then they'll take that away in the next update, and then they're completely inconsistent on that.
Yeah.
So, you know, we'll see these... Oh, go ahead, Ron.
I was just gonna, that's more just an issue of people not following Holo or Holo, whatever we're calling that, guidelines, which that's kind of shocking because that's been out for a long time.
Yeah, I complained about it being developers' issue for like ever with the One X, and I don't know how many readers told me that it was HTC's fault. And I was like, they're just following Google's guidelines.
Yeah. By
getting rid of the menu button. So, I don't know. That's another argument, I think.
I want the phones to be good. I'm just saying I'm not very excited about them. Yeah. I think, like, going from people are saying I'm comparing a 2-year-old phone or whatever. The Razer HD is not 2 years old. But, so... I want Android to not be janky. So like if this continues a level of jankiness for Android, then that will only piss me off. Like I want the phones to be good. So when they do come out, I hope they are good. I hope they give great battery life and they have decent performance, and that's all I want. But sometimes it's too much to ask for, like from these carriers and OEMs. So.
Yeah, but I think that's something that we all, the jankiness is something that we all complained about. I think in the last Q&A, and I can't think of a phone where I didn't experience it at some point.
There's always somewhat little bit of jank, you know.
Like it's not consistent.
I play with iPhones and there's jank. You know, there's always going to be a little bit of jank, but Android is like, man, I get so much crap from friends and family. It's like just like, dude, what's up with Android and the jank?
Yeah, it's a big problem. Even after Project Butter, like it's still
so much jank.
It's not because the thing is it's not a frame rate thing. Like it's not like bumping that up helps for some things.
No, it's like
it's
a
just
system.
Like the system gets choked up at some point. I don't know if it's like how it handles RAM or like I remember there was somebody that like figured out a way to something with. Do you guys remember that? Somebody figured out a way to like hack. When
there was I forget what it was called, but I remember what you're talking about.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah, so there's that, but it's like that's something they still haven't figured out even on Nexus devices where like you're just not like where they just don't choke up at random. Like you'll get that. You just and it's little things too, like, oh, I just want to open the app drawer. Nope, you're gonna have to wait for 30 seconds while it decides if it's gonna do that.
And it's like it's clockwork too, because my father and my sister both have the original Macs. And just within the last couple, like 3 weeks, they've both told me that their phone has been like slowing down to the point where they can't use it, like at the exact same time. So I don't know.
Yeah,
it's weird.
It's
those damn custom skins. Like the Galaxy S4, as powerful as that thing is. Well, yeah, but like the Galaxy S4 with TouchWiz is one of the slowest things ever. Like,
well,
and it shouldn't be.
And the skins certainly make it worse.
But this one is not slow whatsoever. This Google Play Edition, like it's as fast as it should be. Same with the Nexus 4, like it's really fast. It never really slows.
Had any jank on any of them.
Okay, well, every piece of technology has a little bit of jank sometimes.
Yeah, but not like it shouldn't be as consistent. Like I feel like it's pretty consistent on every single Android phone that I've had.
I would say that this Galaxy S4 Google Play Edition and the Nexus 4, I would say they don't really like compared to all the other phones that are sitting around on my desk. They're the ones that are probably the smoothest consistently compared to anything else. But I fully agree with you guys. And I think like I said it in the last Q&A too, like there hasn't been a phone to date that's like perfect. There's always like something wrong and
something
a lot
weird.
Of times it has to do some sort of weird performance glitch or something. Sucks.
Even if like for example, the Galaxy S4 for me so far the performance wise has been fantastic, but then there's got to be some type of hardware jank, and like for like the headphone jack. There's jank. There's like a low latency issue or whatever where you're listening and then all of a sudden it gets really loud. There's just always something wrong with something. And that's frustrating. As if I was a device buyer and I didn't like get to try them all out, like that would piss me off. Like
the jank's acceptable with something like the Galaxy S4 Zoom, that crappy camera phone.
You expect
with the Galaxy S4,
like
your flagship.
You expect jank. If you pay for jank, you're getting jank. But like with the S4, you should be getting exactly. If you pay for jank, you're getting jank.
Yeah.
What else can you say?
Yeah. Well, let's hope that these new droids aren't janky and that they're good and they don't look as ugly in person as these renders that we've seen, and they're really fast and have awesome battery life and all. Because I want Motorola to be successful again. I think we talked about this last week. It'd be nice to have a third player before HTC gets bought out by Huawei or whatever was going on in that rumor.
Please don't. Please no.
But yeah, so we'll go there. We'll check it out. Hopefully they blow our minds and our expectations are totally, blown away. That would be awesome. Yep. So that's next Tuesday. On Wednesday, then, Google is hosting an event in San Francisco, and they wouldn't give any details other than it's like a breakfast with Chrome and Android head honcho Sundar Pichai. And that's all we know. But we would assume that it's Android 4.3 and the new Nexus 7. I don't necessarily know that we should expect much else, unless it's like a new Nexus Q or something random that no one's expecting. But I don't think we're getting the Moto X tomorrow. I think a couple of people reported that, or not tomorrow, but on next Wednesday. I don't think Google's gonna announce the Moto X. Motorola is gonna do that themselves. It's their phone. I mean, I know they're owned by Google, but so next Wednesday, I would assume we're getting 4.3, which for as long as we can think has been just a minor little bump. So it's kind of weird that they're holding an event to announce Android 4.3, unless they're going to toss out all kinds of secrets. But mostly, I think the focus is going to be on the Nexus 7. And yeah.
Would you really do a whole event for a Nexus 7?
I don't know. That's kind of weird, right? Now that I'm saying this out loud,
say that again. Yeah.
Yeah, it seems weird to do an event for a minor update like 4.3 and then for a Nexus 7 $200 tablet.
I don't know, man.
So
Nexus,
is there a secret?
Nexus 7's a pretty good seller. I don't know why you wouldn't.
That's true.
Drum up some hype.
Do we have any solid numbers on that? Did they release anything?
Yeah, well, technically no. But
okay, so we don't know if it's a pretty good seller. It's probably a pretty good seller.
Well, we feel that it's a pretty good seller considering so many people have one. But I think that would kind of be if Apple held an event just for the iPad Mini, version 2 or something like that. Right. I mean, we would expect more if Google's bringing in actual people. And yeah, I don't know. Gotta do something.
Hold on, let me look at my Google schedule of events.
Well, what if they? Do you think maybe they'll? So what does the actual text of the invitation say?
You know what else we're gonna probably get? So I've talked about this a couple of times. That Chrome key thing, which is like a Chrome key plug-in to a TV thing, that's supposed to come out on the 25th.
Yeah, so, that's what I was just about to say. Because if they announce him as head of Android and Chrome, I think they're doing something with Chrome too.
Yeah. So well, it doesn't say that. We just know that's who he is. But since it just says him, it doesn't say Android or Chrome.
Right. Yeah, it's like breakfast with Sundar or something, right?
Yeah. So I would guess that we're going to see that Chrome key finally, and the new Nexus 7. Potentially a new Google TV too. I show Google TV on the calendar, which is kind of weird. Huh. So maybe there's 3 things: Google TV, Nexus 7 refresh, that Chrome key thing, and then Android 4.3. That would be enough to hold an event.
He's still head of apps too, right?
I don't know. Could be
right. I haven't heard of anyone taking the job, so.
Yeah, so I mean there might be something there too.
Yeah. So yeah, that could be what's going on. There we go. We just figured it out. Those are the 4 things.
Got it. Got it.
Yeah. So that's going on. Should be lots of fun. It'll be streamed for the world to see if you want to tune in. And yeah, so that's happening next week. But let's talk about this Nexus 7 though, because today every single thing about it essentially leaked within a couple hours. We got pricing, which looks like the 16 gig model priced at $229. And the 32 gig model priced at $269. So that's $20 higher than each model previously, but that's still ridiculously affordable for a tablet. As far as specs go, well, we got to first look at it. Android Central has a bunch of pictures of it. And so it has a 5 megapixel camera on the back, has a front 1.2 megapixel camera. Still 7-inch display, and we don't know the resolution, though everyone assumes it's going to be 1080p resolution at least. The power switch and volume rocker in the same spot. The micro USB ports in the same spot. There's no SD slot, of course. But it's kind of weird on the back. Did everyone see the back picture with the Nexus logo like in landscape?
Yeah, landscape.
Yeah.
I was going to mention that was actually really interesting.
I hope they don't change the thing to where they're like, okay, this tablet's supposed to be held in landscape now, kind of like a Nexus 10. Like this, the 7 was made for portrait. Do not change that ever.
Maybe they're gonna say it's like a super gaming device and you play games in landscape. Some games. I don't know. It's kind of weird. It's weird to see it like it doesn't. Yeah, for a device that's meant to be portrait that you can hold in one hand, like yeah. So that came out. So we have pictures of it. It doesn't really look any different, other than the back doesn't have that like faux leather bumpy look that the original had, and there's a camera on there. Otherwise, it pretty much looks the same. And I thought there was something else. Oh, so some retailers, I think Office Max is showing that they're receiving their stock or inventory, or at least display models, by like the 20th or somewhere around there. So then that means they're going to get inventory and be ready to sell it next week after they announce it on Wednesday, is essentially what we're thinking. So Nexus 7. Anybody want one? Like
Yeah, well, you know, man, probably. Yeah, I mean, Nexus 7's all-far-time favorite tablet, so having the newest version would be pretty sweet. And,
especially because the old one's janky.
Oh God, it's
right. That's
janky.
what I was just gonna say. It's your favorite tablet, but everybody on the internet's complaining about how janky it is now.
Yeah.
Well, no, everyone says it's their favorite tablet, but with age, just like all things, you know, it has definitely slowed down a bit. As much as
It's such a bad excuse, though.
As much as that doesn't make any sense, it has slowed down. It's a senior citizen now. It's 1 year old. Like that's.
It's not even 1 year old yet.
Did anyone like really figure out what the deal was? I heard that it was like the internal storage was like the cheapest storage ever that just sort of bogged down and is like dying. I don't know if that's true or not, but that's the last thing I heard.
It's like a $200 tablet.
Yeah, I mean they hit a crazy price point with it, so you gotta have trade off somewhere.
Yeah,
I think crap ever in it. Yeah.
It's that Tegra. It's that Tegra 3. Woo.
I mean, this is the same tablet that like the first week it came out, like this display started lifting off because it was like glued on poorly or something. I mean, it was like the cheapest made thing ever.
See, but that's the thing. Like, I wish they wouldn't do that though. Like, I wish they would like if you're gonna make a 7-inch tablet, just make the best tablet you can make, and then charge whatever you need to charge to make a little bit of profit. Or your Google, so sell it at a loss.
Yeah, but no one.
That's not what the people wanted, though. They wanted a cheap tablet.
They wanted a cheap tablet.
Everybody was crying.
But when it's a year in or less, and you've got tons of jank after one software update, that sucks.
Welcome to the world of Android, Ron.
I know, but that's like if Google like. I don't know, like I would just think like if I were Google, like I would want to put out a really good product. I wouldn't want to put out something that craps out after a year. Like that sucks.
It may not be what they want to do.
And that's not good. Like if you're a Nexus 7 buyer, like say that that's your first tablet you get because you can only afford a little bit and you get that's your first experience with Android, like or especially even like Android on a tablet, like you're probably gonna try and get something else.
What's gonna be really interesting to me, and I'm gonna pay a lot of attention to, is if it's the same dimensions as the original Nexus 7, because I spent all that time and effort into my case for the Nexus 7, and if it's not going to fit into there, I don't know.
It's not going to fit. I can already confirm that for you.
Yeah, I have a sinking feeling that it's not going to. So
that's true. That will suck. I have like a really nice Portenzo case that I won't be able to use anymore. Damn it! Why did you bring that up?
Sorry, folks. Confirmed. The camera looks really weird. It kind of looks janky. Like up in the corner there, all circular and stuff. Like
if there's one point where they can cut corners on my 7,
just don't put a camera on it. I don't care. Like put a front facing, fine, that's cool. But I don't need a camera on the back of my tablet. I'm sorry, I just don't need it. I'm not gonna be Snapchatting on my tablet. I don't care. Like, come on.
You only need the front facing for Snapchatting anyway, don't you?
Exactly. That depends on what you're taking pictures of.
Yeah, that's true. That is true. Yeah, I mean, the thing is leaked all over the place. There's one weird rumor, though, that it's not really a rumor. On the back of this thing where there's like a sticker with the specs, it says that there's going to be 4 gig of RAM in there, which
typo.
There's no way in hell that can be right.
That's gotta be. That's typo. 2 gig. I would say 2 gigs of RAM.
4 gigs, no jank.
No, to have 4 gigs.
Yeah,
No.
really.
You just have to up the RAMage in order to get no jank.
It's actually supposed to say ROM, so this it's only gonna have 4 gigs.
4
of space.
gig. Yeah.
Sorry, guys.
They had to cut corners a little bit on that one.
Yeah, but it's gonna be really cheap. And look, you're gonna buy another one in a year because the one that you buy, a year later, it's gonna suck anyway. So
It's kind of
Just
the way
put-
it feels like.
put everything on Google Drive. It's totally fine.
I saw, when I was watching the All-Star game last night, I'm going to go back to the camera real quick. I was watching the All-Star game, and there's a ton of people in the crowd with iPads holding them
I
up to
can't
take
stand
pictures.
that. You look so dumb.
Yeah,
Oh my
anyone
God.
that's on the internet has probably read that if you use a tablet to take a picture, you look foolish. So I would just think that people would shy away from that already. But it is funny.
People love some iPad pictures, that's for sure.
Yeah, and to someone who just asked why not 4 gigs of RAM, probably because no device needs 4 gigs of RAM ever. Computers, probably don't even need 4. They can use 4 gigs of RAM,
Definitely need
but
at
they
least
don't.
4
Yeah,
gigs
They
of
do
RAM.
not
I don't know about
need
that,
4
Tim.
gigs of RAM. Not all computers. Come on. You think that
I
little
asked-
Are you using
That
an
little
Apple
Pixel has
too? Like,
4
why do
gigs of
you need
RAM?
4 gigs of RAM?
this bad boy probably has 4 gigs of RAM, but hey.
I asked Tiffin the other day if he does computer gaming, and he said no, and that just
It's 'cause he only has 2
pretty
gigs of
obvious
RAM.
with that comment. Yeah.
Because I don't need.
He's
to
hanging
spend
out playing
all
Half-Life.
day long sitting at my desk.
He's playing Half-Life 1. He's fine. We need 2 gigs.
I would play that on a console still, so I would not be on the
Thank you.
computer.
I don't think you can.
You
Yeah.
can't play Half-Life on the console on PlayStation.
Not any one of the consoles that we have today.
You can
Yeah, I
play
don't
2, I think.
What? Oh, I'm thinking of Red Faction. Never mind.
Ew.
No,
That's
there's
a
Orange
game.
Box, which I think has Half-Life 2, but not Half-Life 1.
Oh, really? Red Faction would remind me.
Half-Life
of
1, you'd have
Half-Life.
to have the original Xbox for, which I doubt you.
I
still
don't have that. I don't have that. No.
So.
Okay. Anyways, Nexus 7 probably announced next week. You're going to see, I would assume, about 30 more leaks if all these retailers are potentially going to have it on the 20th. It'll be not a surprise whatsoever probably once it gets there on the 24th. So expect that. But yeah, I would guess there's going to be more than just that in Android 4.3. I'm putting money on the Chrome key and potentially a new Google TV. Saying it right now.
Confirmed.
No Google TV. But that's just me.
Yeah, it might not, but I don't know that. It just seems like there needs to be more. So
Nexus Q2.
Nexus Q2. Well, that could be what it is. Maybe it's like an actual.
Nexus Q2 and
Nexus
Q3. Boom.
Boom.
Huh?
How much
You
longer
like
do we
it?
have left in Q3?
Through when the
September?
months start. Starting in October, it's over.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
So through September. That's how you say that. You
We've
announce
got
the month
some-
of the
we've got
first
some time.
next quarter.
We've got some time.
Okay, well, let's move out of there. Let's talk about Moto X since over the weekend a whole bunch of stuff came out. We got a leaked video from Rogers, the Canadian wireless company, that talked all about the phone. I don't know where. Some guy posted on Google Plus, some guy with a name and a language I could not read, and it essentially walked us through the big selling points of the device, right? Like you can say, okay, Google, now do this, and like do navigation or a Google search, and it's hands-free and whatnot. They also threw on, well, we don't know if there's a notification light. I don't know, or is there? But they're going to do notifications on the screen, so people are worried that that's going to kill battery life. Yeah, I don't think there's a light either. So we got notifications showing up on the screen, which is not new. Tim and I were talking about this, and we actually posted about it. There's this app from like 2010 that we used to use when phones didn't have notification lights. That was called No LED, and it like put notifications on your screen, and it was like the ultimate battery killer. But Motorola apparently is bringing that back. What else did we see? We saw a CPU test that showed it benchmarking up there with the Snapdragon 600, even though it's not running a Snapdragon 600. It's running a Snapdragon S4 Pro, dual core, yada yada. And then we saw, just like a Google search. We saw measurement, which we think points to it having a 4.7-inch display, which everyone still thinks is 720p. It's running 4.2.2, 2 gig of RAM, 16 gigabytes of internal storage with no SD card slots.
Oh, that's hot.
Yeah. And then Motorola tweeted some random picture of like a blurry kid that said something about this kid's really fast or your phone's really slow.
Yeah. Did anybody else
It
think
just
that
sounds
was
like a horror
really
movie.
stupid? Like, if you're trying to show off how good your camera is, like, those were the worst pictures to show. 'Cause,
Well, no, that's what they're saying is like your phone probably took these terrible pictures. Our new phone to take awesome pictures.
I was
tweeted
thinking that they were taken with the Moto X, though.
No, Jesus
Christ.
No.
Yeah. Okay. All right.
Boy, that would be exactly what
that's
they would not
That's
want
interesting,
to do.
though, because that's the one. I mean, if that thing actually does have a good camera, that'd be a nice change for Motorola.
Yeah, and so the camera was the other thing in that Rogers video. You can like do this hand twist twice, and it'll like launch the camera.
Yep.
And then you can touch the screen anywhere, and it'll take pictures. And then you can hold your finger, and it'll take multiple.
So stupid.
Is everyone doing this now?
That is so stupid.
This is the best. I'm gonna do it with my Razr right now.
Assuming anyone buys it, you're just gonna see people walking around the street going.
Yeah, just hanging out. They're doing the jank.
Do the jank. Oh, jeez.
Now I will say this: when I first got my Moto,
Moto jank. And it comes in plum.
That's it right there. All we need is a beat. And drop the Moto jank.
Drop the Moto jank. What's up, Eric?
When I first got my Moto Active, it had a motion activation where if you flicked your wrist twice, it would turn on the screen without you having to touch any buttons. And I was like, man, I'm never going to use that. That's stupid. And I ended up using that feature probably more than anything else on the damn watch.
My favorite thing about the Pebble.
Yeah.
I think maybe some type of like that seems cool. Maybe like I am more of like a tapping kind of guy. Like if I could do like a series of taps where there was some type of like something like if I could just like double tap. Yeah, like CAMERA. No, if I could just like
so you tap your phone and it sends it first. The first tap is the name of your contact, right?
Totally.
After that, it's a text message. So you can text in class.
We're basically just going back to the telegraph, is what we're doing.
Yeah.
Exactly. Now, if I could just
tap your messages,
double tap, triple tap, anything to quickly open up the camera, like
advertising campaign, I'd tap that.
If a lady with arthritis is trying to open up her Moto X camera app, she's gonna be having a hard time.
She's launching the camera and tapping out text messages.
What I'm picturing is somebody's just gonna like be in a situation where they want to get their camera out really quickly and do that, and then just their phone's gonna go flying. It's gonna be
that'll be crazy.
It's just gonna be dead.
Come on, yeah, you see.
Never gonna find it.
Well, and I would assume it's gonna have to do with like the accelerometer, and Android phones' accelerometers are all terrible. Like if you pick up an iPhone or an iPad and you like turn it sideways, it starts like flipping before you get there. With like an Android device, you tip it sideways, there's like a pause.
5 seconds.
And then it goes, okay, I'll turn now.
That's a feature.
Creeping in.
Feature.
Yeah. Terrible.
Saying we want you to watch this animation.
So I'm assuming like you're gonna have to do this like 8 times to get it to actually work, or if you do it too fast, it just won't work. And
I am wondering
apps on the market on Play Store that do that. Like you can like flick your phone twice and it'll pop the camera. Like it's not really a new feature.
Well, there's that app that I don't remember what it's called anymore, but like where you lift up your phone and it turns on the screen. So I mean, there's stuff to do that, I'm sure.
Yeah.
It's all smoke and mirrors.
I am wondering if the notification, because we're talking about like if that's going to use up a ton of battery, having that light up all the time.
Mm-hmm.
In the video, it looked like only part of the screen was coming on. Did you guys?
Yeah. It kind of looked as if it was almost like it was a shadow over everything, but the notification.
I'm wondering, a bunch of Nokia phones, the 925 I think just got it, but it was on a bunch of those Symbian phones where like you would tap it, or the 925 now you just wave your hand over it and it uses the proximity sensor and then shows you the time. You just wave your hand over it and it does that. Well, so I'm wondering if they'll have like something similar to that, but it just like it just uses white pixels, or the pixels for the time, and that's it. So I'm wondering if they'll have something similar where it's just the notifications are just using part of the screen.
The Galaxy S4 has a feature like that where if you hold your hand close to it while the screen is off, it'll turn on the screen a little bit, which is a really nice feature actually.
It is.
Yeah.
I think Motorola's is actually gonna like not strobe at you, but like it'll show you and then it'll go off, and then it'll show you.
That's what Snapchat notifications do at this point. They turn the screen on for a second and then they go off. So
God, Eric, can you go one day without bringing up Snapchat?
You broke the Snapchat barrier.
I did.
It's true.
It's true. No, it's true. I was just giving him a hard time because we aren't Snapchat buddies. That's
what?
Oh, you
Eric and I Snapchat all
tell
day.
me you had it.
What?
Yeah, we're on there all the time. Like at party in the middle here.
Mm-hmm.
Damn, I Snapchat.
It's a whole thing.
This is quite the party in the middle.
Party in the middle.
So the other thing that I thought was kind of weird is with the camera, and I just mentioned that you can just tap wherever to take a picture, but most cameras you tap to focus on whatever you want. So does that mean they broke the focus? Or you're just assuming Motorola knows what to focus on? I know that seems kind of minor, but But I like tap around on my screen to focus on certain things, and if you can just tap wherever, that's not good. So I'm wondering if you can maybe turn that off.
Oh,
Or something.
yeah, I feel like that'll be a mode you can turn on and off.
Yeah, maybe, or maybe they have something else to like manually focus, like the Lumia 1020 has.
Could be.
Oh, God, I hope not.
But so this
Really?
video,
That'd be pretty sweet to be able to manually decide what you want to focus on.
Yeah.
Where would you
that's-
do that though? On the hardware?
No, it'd just be software.
Oh, okay. All right, I
Yeah.
was thinking like on the back side
No,
of the
no.
device.
I mean,
have a little ring.
Granted, that would be amazing, and I would definitely be into that. But no, I think it'll be software.
Yeah.
so this video was, I don't know, it was like a minute and a half long, and they showed these few things. Most people said, "Is that it?" Like most people in the comments just said, "Like, is that you got to have more than that, Motorola?
What?
Like, if you're not going to give us specs, you better give us more than just a couple of software gimmicks."
I don't think those
I
are
don't know.
gimmicks.
You don't think so? You feel like
No.
those are legit?
I
Like,
saw
you
that
want-
video. I was like, "Holy
You
crap!"
want hovering notifications on your screen, and you want a Moto jank? Like,
Yeah.
that's what you want?
Gotta have it.
Well, that's something I would use, like getting out my phone and getting to the camera. Like Windows, there's a reason why Windows phones, if you push the camera button, it launches straight into there. Like
Mhm.
I think that's something that people like. Like when you're grabbing your phone and you want to take a picture of something, especially if it's like happening right now, which 90% of the time it is, like, and you're not staging a photo, like having that is super handy. Like I love having that feature. I do like I wouldn't capture half the photos I do of my nephew and think, you know, like things like that. Like I would miss out if I wasn't able to get to that quickly. So I think that's, you know, being able to grab it, shake it, and then go. Like I would definitely use that. So
I could,
you know,
I could see
especially
that,
if
but,
you
like stock Android right now, all you have to do is like press the unlock button and then swipe from the right where your
Yeah,
camera
I
is,
mean
and
that's
that's
how
it.
it's
Like,
supposed to go in theory.
yeah, and I know
Yeah,
not a lot
that
of
doesn't
people
always
probably don't
work.
understand that.
No, I
but
mean it's not even that people
I'm
don't
really used to
understand it.
doing that, just
It's
like
that
swiping and
it's
things
not
like that.
smooth.
No,
it's not
it's not.
smooth.
You guys need to get some new phones that are smooth, okay?
Yeah, stop rolling around in the jank. Come
like,
up
it
here
should
and
be-
cloud.
This Galaxy
Top-tier
Nexus is getting
devices.
old.
Oh,
I'm waiting
Yeah,
for the
you
Moto
can't
X.
use that as an example.
No.
you have to like grab it from the edge. Like you can't just grab anywhere in there.
Yeah, you're right. You do have
And
to.
that's,
That's, so you have to get
like-
used to it, but
Yeah, you have to get used to placing it like, and so just like having like a target, you know, you just shake it and you're good. Like that'd be pretty cool.
do the Moto jank.
Yeah.
Well, we'll see. I feel like there's going to be more than just those few things we just mentioned. There's
Oh,
got to
yeah,
be.
definitely.
Well, the thing-
I mean,
the thing
was
that they're-
like one video.
Right, and the thing that they were talking up was how this thing's going to have tons of sensors in there, which I think, like, obviously, like,
Yeah.
the notifications, stuff like that, like, and how they're going to use that, and I'm sure it's going to tie into, what is that Motorola thing, with the smart actions, like, if they have something that's using, and on the Verge Mobile show, they were talking about how they think that maybe, like, saying, okay, Google, or okay, Google Now, or whatever you're supposed to say to launch Google Now, how that would, like, kill the battery if it's listening to you always. They're talking about maybe there's, like, a low-power microphone in there. Just listening for that. Like, if they're able to like really use that kind of stuff, I think this phone could be pretty sweet. So,
It
I'm
has
actually really
potential.
excited about it. Even with like the mid-low range specs, I don't really care. Like, I wanna.
Yeah.
I kind of am ready for. Like how HTC tried to do the like, we're done with the megapixel war, we're just going to try to make a good camera, and we don't know if they really did that or not, but like they were changing the race to the like the biggest specs, and I feel like we got so crazy with all this crap that maybe it's time for someone to do something not so everything specs. And I know Samsung and stuff has tried to come away from that a little bit while they're still doing it in the background.
yeah.
Maybe Motorola will finally do, you know, a phone that stuff really doesn't matter. Like the experience on it. Everyone that's either played with the phone or has talked about it by either talking to us or on forums or whatever has said like this phone is ridiculously smooth and like the performance is awesome, and it's like Motorola's fine-tuned every little like piece of it. So yeah, I'm excited.
I'm sure I could find a way to make it, you know, perform jankily.
Make it
but we
squeal.
shall see. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's just like every phone, though. I don't know. Under certain circumstances, whatever. I don't know. I'm excited for it, but we'll see.
I'm excited for Google's take on, I don't really know how to put this, like making like a phone sort of like Google Now does, how it like anticipates your life. Like they're going to do that, but they're going to take it beyond Google Now. It sounds like what Motorola's trying to do. Like you said, with like a quick flick to launch a camera or notifications showing more information, or Dennis Woodside said when he was in that interview at D11, like like my phone will know when I want to take a camera kind of thing, like when I pulled out of my pocket. Like that stuff's really interesting.
Or
you know, like Samsung tried to
when you're in the car, things like that.
Yeah, it'll just know that stuff rather than having to launch stuff. Like Samsung tried to innovate with the Galaxy S4, and all they did was like let you hover your finger on crap. Like there's no use for that really. Like Tim, you said one of the coolest Samsung Galaxy S4 features is like when it's laying on your desk and you can like wave your hand over it. That's like one of the coolest things they did, and like no one really talks about it. So yeah, maybe
it's cool.
Yeah. Well, that's it, like adding using sensors like that to do stuff like it's nice, I guess, in some instances, but they're not doing stuff that like really changes the way you use a phone. Like being able to get access to the camera quickly, like something that like everybody will want to use. Everybody takes pictures. Everybody wants to get at it quickly. That's a big thing. Being able to swipe swipe over my phone when it's on the desk so it turns on the screen. That's a laziness thing. That's not like changing anybody's life.
It comes down to
the hands-free stuff is nice.
Yeah. Especially when you're in the car.
Right.
Oh, okay.
Sorry.
Samsung wants to make these things for like new stuff that they want you to do with their phone, but it seems like the Google Now way is to make things that you already want to do with your phone easier. Does that if that makes any sense?
Yeah.
Or just have it do them automatically.
Yeah.
Have it do it automatically, or predict the things that you might want to do, like harnessing all the information that Google has, and like having phones that are even more tailored to that, which I think is what if they're able to like highlight some of the stuff that Google now does that is tailored straight to you as an individual, plus you customize this phone with a felt pack or whatever other materials they're going to have, and like do all those other things where you can design it. Yeah, I'm hoping for felt, by the way. Not just wood.
God.
Just imagine it. It's going to blend into the pool table. It's going to be great.
That's exactly the first thing I thought was pool felt green.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Did you guys see Motorola's tweet this evening? It's like a picture. It says, "Anyone else think this looks kind of cool?" And it's a picture of like
some hipster shoes.
Yeah, it's their shoes. They're wearing like kind of like leather wingtips with like a yellow sole, and their feet are up on like a metal yellow chair. So does that mean we're gonna get like leather backs, or just showing yellow? I want a leather phone. That would be.
It's just some hipster who runs their Twitter, and they're like, "Check out my sweet shoes."
No, they picked the wrong account. They were gonna post on their personal account. Everybody else
exactly. Freaking hey, man.
It's definitely a tease for some kind of material or color,
or
the idea
we talked
that
about the Moto X could have like a fabric back or
something else, which I think
metallic. I mean, that's genius.
Customized to your style. So they're saying you could have one that's yellow and matches your laces and this yellow chair. Or something.
When you get into fabrics and different kinds of things, like how is it going to hold up against heat changes? I mean, they're not radical, but over time, the heating and cooling underneath that is going to have some kind of effect on it.
Well, it'll be the same thing. That's why they can't do a wood phone, because if you take it on an airplane, you're screwed. Like
wood was listed on one of those.
I don't get it.
That rumor, I think. Like
well, I think it'll just be part of it. Like maybe like.
Well, like the back, back or something. It's not going to be a whole phone encased in wood.
So I think there'll be like a wood plate, which will be replaceable. Will be like that.
Made from a single I don't think
single piece of aluminium. Is that
I don't know where I was going.
I know what you're talking about.
I need more caffeine. I think it's a sweet idea. Although, like, I would want so many different kinds to go with whatever it is like, because then you're gonna have people out there like they want one for whatever clothes they're wearing, whatever car they're driving.
And they sell somewhere
That's going to be the interesting part. Is if you can only get one, or that's like an interchangeable piece, and you can have one for like each day of the week. Then it would start to get really interesting.
I think they have to do that because otherwise, I don't know how they're manufacturing these.
Exactly. Yeah, that's
I think the regular part of the chassis can be black, and then you can have a different color on the back.
Just think of how much money they could charge you from having like 200 different backs for these phones, and you could just
just think about how people.
Pokemon game.
Yeah, well, right now people customize their phones with cases and stuff like that, which hide it. So now you can customize and personalize your phone with a back and make it whatever you want. Like I think people are going to be into that. Yeah. I mean, think back to Dell Inspiron 15s. How many people had the stupid pictures on the back of those that were customized?
Yeah.
It's pretty popular.
Was it?
So not to like ruin.
I've had to fix a lot of those. Is what I said.
But a source of ours told us that the AT&T might have an exclusive on the customization stuff, which would be really terrible.
That's not confirmed. But
not confirmed at all. No.
But dude, it wouldn't surprise me at all. And it's just like it continues this whole.
Well, maybe like for the carrier branded versions.
Well, I would assume they're going to probably sell an unlocked version
Right.
that you can customize, and it'll probably work on T-Mobile and AT&T. But I think AT&T is going to have like their version you're going to be able to customize, and everybody else is just getting a black and a white version. At least that's what I was told. And I think actually,
that's
I think
scary.
Wimberly, like a couple weeks ago, said he had heard that AT&T was getting some sort of exclusive thing with it, and he didn't know what it was. I think that's what it is. I think they're getting the custom stuff, which is unfortunate.
That's beyond unfortunate.
Yeah.
I mean, that's just ridiculous.
Mm-hmm. So we'll see if that happens or not, but
it's not like they would do if they're doing what we think they're doing, which is just the replaceable backs. Like, unless they're changing AT&T's back, or like Verizon's back won't be replaceable or something. Like, I don't know what else.
Or maybe it's more than just the back. That's customizable.
Right. But I mean, that's going to suck for manufacturing. I don't know if they can do that.
Well, we just don't know because nothing is confirmed.
Yeah, it's still kind of this giant mystery of what they're going to let us customize. Because if it's just a back, like that's stupid. You could buy a back for $10 on Amazon. So it's got to be some other kind of customization or something.
I want a wood phone. I've been dying for a wood phone.
A wood-backed phone.
You're just going to have to like ship it via a boat if you're going anywhere.
I don't know what you're talking about. So why can't I take a wood phone on a plane?
Because it's the pressure, like if you're going up.
I don't get it. Because it expands?
Yes.
Or
yeah.
I don't. What if they temper it somehow to where that wouldn't affect it?
Do you guys remember there was somebody that was going to do a wood phone, and that was one of the issues they ran into with it.
Really?
Yeah. So that's why.
I remember those wood phones. They looked hot. I wanted one.
They looked great.
They did look great.
Yeah.
That's the issue with it, though. So I mean.
Huh.
Yeah. So it sucks because if you ever want to take it on a plane, then you'd have to ship it.
Yeah, but like people
and make sure it doesn't fly. Like you've got to like.
I don't understand. I just don't know how I'm sorry, I'm not a scientist like you.
Science.
I'm not either. I read an article, so I don't know what's going on. But,
bro,
I guess that's why.
I don't even know how magnets work. Like they just stick together.
How?
But
How do magnets
but like
work?
people fly guitars, like and other wood stuff flies. Like I don't see why it would be just a phone.
The phone was bamboo, so maybe it's something particular to bamboo.
Oh well, hell, maybe it's just bamboo. Then
Maybe,
I want
I
a
don't
bamboo phone.
None of us knows what's going on. Well, I want
I'm not a panda.
Tim, go chop down one of your California redwoods and then haul it over to Motorola and tell them to make you a phone.
One of your California redwoods. He has fled the state.
That's true.
You are not allowed back in. I will go to the north and chop down.
I don't even know what kind of trees they have in Oregon. They all look the same here. They have it's called a monoculture where they clear cut everything and then put in one tree.
I think you're thinking of white people.
What, when I said they and monoculture?
Yeah.
Okay, yes, white people.
That's why you guys don't understand Viva Mobile. We need it.
We're not modern Latinos.
Yeah.
We are not modern Latinos.
Nobody here is a modern Latino.
No.
No.
All right, so Moto X, the only other thing I see people in the chat asking if we know pricing, and I don't think anyone knows pricing. The only report on pricing was the Wall Street Journal, and I think they were just randomly saying, like, it'll be a flagship, so it's going to be priced at $199 on contract and $599. I just have this feeling that's not going to be that expensive. It seems like Motorola is going to give us a phone that's not going to be a regular $200 on contract. I don't feel like that's where they want to go anymore, especially if they want to compete. It seems like they're going to sell phones cheaper, but could be wrong. Could very well be wrong. You guys want to talk about upgrade plans? These magnificent upgrade plans that everyone's introducing? I look confused.
Because someone sent me a weird message on this IRC thing. I'm getting creeped out.
You got like a weird ding.
Yeah.
You didn't know where it came from.
Yeah, we can talk about this carrier stuff. Let's do it.
Yeah, let's talk about carrier upgrade plans. So, T-Mobile a week ago came out and said, I think we talked about it really quick. They came out with Jump, which is a $10 per month sort of subscription plan, if you will, where you can upgrade your phones twice every 12 months. So it runs you $10, but that also includes insurance, protection plan, and all that stuff. And so then once you're in it for 6 months, you can upgrade twice per year, and you get to pay like the new phone pricing, which could be like $99 down or $150 down, and then you pay installments, device plan, all of that good stuff. So you can upgrade often. So AT&T, actually no, we got sent a leak out of Verizon before AT&T could announce anything. That was for a plan called VZ Edge, which is going to be Verizon's upgrade plan, where you don't have to pay a monthly fee, or I'm sorry, like a participation fee. You don't have to put down payments on phones and all that good stuff, but they'll let you upgrade as long as you've paid off 50% of a device. So you can get a device, no down payment, then you pay monthly payments on it with a $2 finance fee on top of that, and then once it's paid off 50%, you can get a new one and keep going, all this stuff. And then AT&T, like later that night, nice timing, whoever sent us the Verizon stuff, AT&T announced essentially the same thing, except theirs isn't a 50% where you can go to the next one. You can just do it like once every 12 months or something like that, and there's no fee, and you pay installments and all of that stuff, and you can upgrade. So I wrote up this ridiculously long piece about it, and essentially what I said was they're all not really that great of deals. The AT&T and Verizon ones are terrible deals. So it's sort of like you'll never get a carrier to admit this, but when you buy a phone on contract, you get it at a cheap price, like say $200, a subsidized price, if you will. And so those carriers build in what we like to call sort of a subsidy fee or charge into your monthly service plan that sort of pays for that cheap phone that they just let you buy. So with AT&T and Verizon's plans, that fee is still built in there. Plus, then you're buying a new phone and paying a monthly amount for your phone. So you're like getting charged twice for that phone. So it's like the biggest ripoff in the world. With T-Mobile's plan, they sort of pull that extra subsidy charge out of their service plans, so their plans are lower. And then if you buy into their upgrade plan, you have a monthly payment, but you're at least not getting dinged twice for it. So up
and
front,
you get insurance.
Yeah, and you get insurance. So up front with AT&T and Verizon's, they kind of look like a better deal because you have no down payments on these new phones, and there's no like monthly charge. But yes, you're paying for them twice.
No, I thought there was a monthly charge on those.
No, just your like installment fees or whatever. You pay like whatever it is per month to have those phones. Like there's no like, well, Verizon has a $2 finance fee that they charge you.
Okay, yeah.
But AT&T doesn't have a fee or anything.
Okay.
I feel like after T-Mo announced their jump stuff and all that, like Verizon and AT&T just kind of like hustled really quickly to kind of like pump out a similar type of thing and didn't really even double check or read it possibly, and it could be revised. I don't know, but it does seem like a ripoff.
It is definitely a ripoff. You're paying twice for a phone, and you're not losing any of the subsidy that's built into your contract. So it's definitely a ripoff.
I mean, as shady as it sounds, think of how awesome it sounds when somebody explained this to you in the store and you don't know about, the subsidy fee that you're already paying. Oh man, you can pay off your phone over time and get upgrades more often. Like, it's going to do a lot, and they're going to make a lot of money off people that don't know what they're signing up for, unfortunately.
Yeah, and if you want, that's the other thing, if you want insurance on your phone, that's another charge on AT&T and Verizon.
Yeah.
So actually, if you do want to try and match up with what T-Mobile's doing, you're going to end up paying like a lot more.
Yeah, the Verizon AT&T deals they're not deals. I should quit saying that. The plans are terrible for consumers in general. It's them double dipping on you, and it sucks. And
that
you have to
nasty.
buy. I didn't mean it that way, but I guess you could take it that way.
You could take it that way.
And yes, you also have to buy equipment protection, which T-Mobile tosses in already. So they're going to sell it. They're going to say ours is better than T-Mobile's because T-Mobile makes you pay for $100 or $150 down on a phone. We're not going to make you do that, but they're recouping all of that anyway from you because there's extra fees built into your service plans. And I heard, in the comments of the post I wrote, like a few people weighed in and said, "There's no subsidy fee. It's just they're more expensive." Well, I guess you could say that. Then they're ridiculously more expensive. I don't know. But it's sort of widely known in the industry that there's like a subsidy fee built into their plans. I don't really know how else to put it.
That's why you sign another contract.
Right.
So
exactly.
That's why T-Mobile doesn't have contracts, because they ripped out the subsidy. So
God, they're smart. I think T-Mobile's looking more and more impressive lately. They're moving on up to a big old thing.
Yeah, if they had coverage, I mean, if you've got coverage from them, then yeah,
exactly. If you
that's
have coverage, then that's fine. Of course, there's going to be tons of places that does not have LTE and good data, but that's because it's T-Mobile. But
yeah, it really is the problem. There is T-Mobile looks ridiculously attractive on paper, but if you don't live in an area that has their service, like you obviously can't go to them. And they're still building out, LTE and all that stuff. Verizon has really good coverage. We get why everyone's still with Verizon, but it's just these things like and Verizon. Okay, I guess I should clarify. If anyone from Verizon's listening, your plan's not official yet, so we don't know all of the details. Maybe you'll surprise us and all of a sudden cut out the subsidy fee from your plan, but we sort of doubt that's going to happen.
And if you do, please do it, because that would be amazing.
That would be amazing. Verizon, that would be amazing. Yeah, so that's sort of what we know. There's 3 new upgrade plans from those 3 carriers. None of them are great deals, but T-Mobile's at least gives you an option to upgrade often without completely screwing you.
Just do the T-Mobile deal if you want to upgrade early and you don't want to pay for you don't want to keep the device and don't want to pay full price for it. That's why you do it. If not, then just pay full price up front and save money.
Right. Yeah. And T-Mobile is like insanely cheap. I was on a Solave prepaid plan for a while, but I want T-Mobile's LTE now because it's in Portland. So I canceled that and I actually bought like a T-Mobile plan. It's $60 for unlimited everything, and that's 2.5 gigabytes of full speed data. So once you hit that, then they start throttling you down, but you don't get like overages if you use more than 2.5 gigs. So the T-Mobile's plans are looking really good. I had something else to say about Verizon and AT&T. Oh, I guess just the problem is, and you guys kind of brought this up, like somebody's going to go into a store and a salesperson's going to go, we can get you a new phone right now. They're going to go, oh, you have a Galaxy S3 and you're still on contract? Sign up for this plan. You can get this phone right now. You don't have to pay anything down right now. All you have to pay is like an extra $30 a month. It's so awesome. You're going to get a new phone. And they're going to go, okay. And then they're going to get screwed.
Yep.
And Verizon's going to report Q4 earnings and go, look how awesome we are.
They're going to rake in the money off of this. It's going to be it's going to be unethical almost.
Yes, they are. And I guess I shouldn't keep saying Verizon because AT&T is going to do the same thing. So.
Yeah, they're both raping you.
First of all, how dare you? That's insulting, I think, for you to say that Verizon is raping people. But yeah, it's not a nice plan. So.
They should have better plans, and they should be competing, and that's the big problem is that they can't, like, their competition is AT&T, who also doesn't give a crap. So
yeah, that's tough. So
it sucks. It would be like, even though T-Mobile's making all these huge changes, like, it doesn't affect them. That's the problem. And how are they, quote unquote, responding? By taking even more money from consumers that aren't going to know any better. Like, that's not cool.
Well, people should be educating themselves. I don't know what
they should be, but like.
Well, exactly, they should be. So I don't know why people don't want to know where their money's going or what they're paying for, et cetera, et cetera. I mean, I know that there are plenty of people who are not, but at the same time, people should start looking at their phone bills. I don't know what. I'm not going to feel sorry for people who are just blindly signing up for stuff. I know how it works in like a phone store because you go in there and they hassle you. They're like used car dealership people. Like they shuck and jive. I'm just saying, like, people should think about what they're doing with their money when it comes to their stuff.
But some people, like, they just don't get it, and like it's not going to be explained to them.
Shuck and jive. Yes.
That's what I deal with that every day at my day job with trying to explain computers to people, and they don't know what the word icon means, and they can't get to a website. Like, they're not going to be able to figure out what their bill means or what it means to save money or anything else like that. If the Verizon rep maybe tells them then you can save money, or AT&T rep or whoever, then they might listen to something. But I mean, people just don't know. So and the fact that we have this crazy duopoly where, like, there is no competition doesn't force the carriers to be honest or anything else like that. They can BS people all they want, and that's a problem. Like, that sucks. That sucks that if you want to have a decent deal, you've got to go to T-Mobile.
Mm-hmm.
And then risk not having service.
Yeah,
right.
Yeah.
And we had the shot. We had the shot with LTE where we could have evened out everything and said, hey, you can move phones all over the place. You can compete directly with price and quality, but we decided to not do that, and that sucks.
Yeah.
I would agree. It 100% sucks that there's a duopoly
Let's move on to
in
something
industry.
less depressing.
Less depressing.
Getting
Okay,
more
so
heavy.
anyways,
Oh,
final word then is please do not buy into Verizon and AT&T's upgrade plans. They are
Don't.
effing terrible. Don't
Yeah,
do it.
if you're on Verizon, you're stuck with the subsidy, so upgrade as soon as you possibly can.
Yeah. Sell your phone if you need a new phone. Sell it.
Yep.
Then save up another $100 or $200 and just buy the phone outright. That's what you should do.
Yeah, but if you're not getting a new phone, then you're just paying more of a subsidy towards a phone that you've already paid off. So, like, please do something.
Yeah, like, okay, not to keep going, but it makes me mad because like my Verizon lines, like I have like 2 of them. They're not on contract anymore, right? And when I was writing this post up, I was going, I'm getting screwed right now. Like I don't have a contract anymore, and they're still charging me the exact same rate, and I just kind of went, this is really terrible.
Yeah. So even if you don't even if there's say you're up for an upgrade right now, and there isn't a phone out that you want to get and you want to wait, buy a phone and then sell it so you have that money, so then you can buy whatever phone you want to get on off contract and then get it that way. Because otherwise you're just you're paying money towards a phone that you've already paid off.
Right.
Or switch to T-Mobile if you can.
Yeah, or just switch to T-Mobile. Okay, yeah, we can move out of there. So we just got a random email that some guy on Google Plus posted a screenshot of his Nexus 4, and he said, "Is 4.3 already out?" I don't know why this is really news. And now, 100 people are on Google Plus helping this man try to pull 4.3 from his phone.
Oh God!
Yeah,
it was
so
like
I've been
that.
scrolling, reading.
It was like that time where that guy's Nexus S got shipped with what was it?
It might have been 4.0. I kind of know what you're talking about, but I don't remember exactly what
everybody
it
was trying to get him to pull a system dump for it, and then Google remotely locked it down. Remember that fiasco?
Oh yes, that was awesome.
There's always fun stuff. There's the guy that bought the touchpad that had Android on it
that too.
from the factory.
Oh,
that was pretty cool.
Yeah. But yeah, so this is there's 126 comments, right? And the first one's it's a build.prop edit. There's always the guy that's the first one to go, that's a build.prop edit. And then it went to, wait, how did you get that? Wait, here's a how-to on how to pull that. And now it's it seriously is 100-some comments long of people trying to help this dude get 4.3 off. Anyways, we'll keep an eye on that, but all right, so just randomly though, sort of related to the upgrade stuff, as all these companies are announcing this, Sprint announces that they're doing a new initiative called Unlimited Data for Life. And that's it. They didn't announce that you get anything else, because they already had unlimited, which they've been advertising and it's not helping for the last year or so, but now it's for life. So does that just mean that they're going to say tiered data any day now? Why else would you say you can have it for life if you sign up now? Stupid. Sprint. Failure. I didn't say that.
Yeah. T-Mobile is going up just as quickly as Sprint is going downward.
Yeah, T-Mobile is, when John Ledger was on stage last week, he said, we're adding all sorts of customers, right? He had good things to say, I think.
Yeah. And they had that huge LTE rollout.
Yeah.
They jumped up quick.
Yeah, they did. HTC One Mini tomorrow. Tim, give us the rundown on the Mini. This is your baby.
Yeah, this is the phone I've been dreaming of.
Where to start?
If you review it, can we please have you cut holding it like a little baby?
Yeah, well,
let's get a shot of that.
Swaddle it.
Yeah, swaddle it. Swaddle your Mini.
I don't think reviewing the One Mini would be necessary, but either way, HTC UK sent out from their official Twitter account that they have a little piece of news to announce tomorrow, and they put
a bundle of joy, even
little bundle of joy, yeah. And so there was they showed a pocket, and inside the pocket was a One Mini, at least in my eyes, because I know what the One Mini looks like with the little white trim, etc., etc. So yeah.
Yeah, that's coming.
So it sounds like we're getting the One Mini. Sounds like we're getting the One Mini tomorrow. So
cool.
How about that?
Cool beans.
Cool beans, right?
Cool beans.
Sorry, I was chatting on Google Plus with the 4.3 people.
I realized that. Yeah, I found out today that no one cares a single bit about the One Mini. So I started to stop. Yeah, well, you don't actually.
Once
care.
Again,
I care deeply.
I'm sure there's some people where they walk into the store and they'll be like, it's going to be some elderly person. I don't like all these big phones. And then, oh, well, look at this. We've got a 4.3-inch phone.
Why do they have to be elderly? Can they not handle?
Because I just had to throw
my hand just can't hold up this giant aluminum phone.
Yeah.
Is that what's happening?
Yes, that's exactly what's happening.
I had to tap into something there. So
Why
That's
can't it just be somebody that doesn't, you know? What about somebody that wears skinny jeans? They're not going to have a giant phone. They don't have room to spare. They need a mini.
true.
That's why they're showing in that huge pocket. Look how small
Just how
it is.
tiny it is in this.
It'll fit in any pocket.
Huge pocket.
Turns out those were skinny jeans. It's not actually a shirt pocket.
Yeah, I don't know. It's a pretty interesting way of announcing something, but yeah, it's HTC for you. They don't really have a marketing budget. So,
unlike Motorola, that's also just tweeting random pictures of stuff. Like,
this looks cool.
This looks cool, yeah.
Does this look cool to you guys?
Oh, and I'm telling you right now, I bet you that HTC One Mini is an AT&T exclusive.
Yeah.
Everything is, and it's not going anywhere else but there. I bet.
I just feel it should be a Sprint exclusive.
Oh god.
It would work very well on their network.
But then HTC can't sell any of them. I mean, they might sell 5.
it's not
They
our
might sell
problem.
like 100 on AT&T. They'll sell 5.
Once it gets through customs and they make sure it's not violating any patents, they can sell them. Just give them like 3 to 4 months. Not a big deal.
It's starting to look more and more like an iPhone. You're right. It's crazy.
Anyway, let's move on. It's already 10:06.
Yeah, we can move on. Oh yeah, it is. Look at that.
10:06.
7:06.
Not in Redwood land.
10:06.
Weird East
7:06.
Coast guy.
Yeah.
Okay, so quickly then, the Google Play web layout. What do you guys think about that? The new version that's out on the web.
Hey, it looks
Does anyone,
really
first of all,
nice.
does anyone use Google Play Store in the browser?
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. What do you guys think of it? Like it? Hate it?
I like the new look. It reminds me a lot of the phone UI, and I think it's well laid out. Kind of, for example, when you go into the music, it kind of looks like what the music app for Chrome looks like, and it's just it's a more like, I can't talk today, man. I'm over it. It's more of like an experience that's like all across the board. It's very I can't even think of the word right now. I quit.
No, I think that's good. It's more of an experience that's all across the board.
Shut up, man.
No, that makes sense because I have a board at home, and sometimes I like to experience things on it.
Why can't I?
What
think
did
of
that
this word? Anyways, it's on the tip of my tongue.
Like it's the same experience on every device. Is that what you're trying to say?
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
Yeah,
so it's responsive, is what you're trying to say.
No, it's not. But it looks
I
good.
hate you so much.
But it looks good.
It looks so good.
With the addition of the wish list and all that stuff, I mean, it looks more. Damn, what's that word?
Hey, are you a writer? Can you help me think of some words?
Mature.
Usually, I'm all right. But today was a long day, man.
4 words. That's kind of long. It does bug me that you can't sort apps that are installed in your account by device. So like when you go into the My Apps page, it just loads like 500 apps if you've been an Android user for very long. That kind of sucks. Yeah.
I bit the bullet a couple months ago and went through and started deleting some of those that I didn't want on that list.
Oh yeah,
It was
which is
like
great.
it's the same mindset of, oh man, I'm gonna have to clean out my email inbox at some point. So
Yeah, that's
it's
probably a
about
good
as fun
idea.
as that.
That doesn't sound very fun, but that's probably a good idea. Oh, here you go. Here's breaking news out of LG. They confirm.
Oh, this looks cool.
This is a press release. The next flagship device from LG Electronics will be officially known as G2. And
Thanks.
they are now using G branding for all future premium phones.
What up, G?
Ugh.
Nice.
And
I like it.
And all premium 4x3 display smartphones will be rebranded as simply View or Voo, however you say that. I can't believe they're thinking of making more 4x3 display phones.
Oh my god. The
But yeah,
intuition.
so they actually sent out an entire press release. Well, it's all of 3 paragraphs. It says LG aligns premium smart home behind new G name. So there you go. LG G2 is official.
Samsung did this like a year and a half ago. I remember posting a big picture about it, about how the S was going to be the premium, and then there was going to be the R,
right.
and then there was going to be the
V and the T
V or whatever.
Yeah.
That doesn't make sense though, because
The
LG
W.
never copies Samsung. So, I mean,
Yeah.
Well, and Samsung doesn't copy anybody either, so
yeah.
who
I
knows?
know.
Everybody's
Never.
independent. Well, I don't know where this is all coming from.
I don't think there's any problem with unifying, the experience or rebranding something to make it all fit cohesively. And ooh, look at me, I'm coming up with big words.
No, but it's LG. So we get
I'm glad cohesively is big for you.
So yeah, I think it's fine. I like that they're actually doing that because just like Galaxy brand, you can just kind of keep everything in one lump stuff. Even though whatever the Galaxy Zoom and the Galaxy NX and all that crap doesn't really fit into a Galaxy brand. Like I don't know, but it's fine. I don't mind the branding of stuff. I think it's good. I think it kind of helps consumers. So
it does. Samsung needs to quit though. Like,
well, just stop.
S4 is no longer like cool.
Exactly. You just can't keep throwing stuff onto S4. Exactly. So stop that nonsense.
Well, yeah, the S4 is like it's supposed to be your premium phone, and then you release the S4 Zoom, that really shitty camera phone thing. Like, what? It just takes away from the whole whatever. G2, it's official. Oh my god. Anyways, all right, let's do a couple of apps and games, and then wrap this sucker up. I wrote up a couple days ago a game called Fireball SE. Super simple, and you really are a fireball that flies around the screen, and you control it with your thumb, and you avoid bombs and bad guys, and you light off bombs yourself. It's like $1.99. It's a super really good time waster. It's a super really good time waster.
Everybody is so good at talking.
Yeah. And yeah, that's it. It's cool. Go check it out if you got $2 to blow. Tim, what do you got?
Today I have Super Mega Worm, which has been on iOS since about 2010, and here we are, mid-2013, and we got it.
Yes, just in time.
We did it.
Just in time. But
man, you guys are on a roll. You're getting that game. You guys finally got Google Maps that looks good. What's next? Gmail that looks good.
No, that's never coming.
No.
Don't tease us.
Maybe Mailbox.
Yeah, Super Mega Worm is kind of like those games where it's you just use something's coming out of the ground and you use like acceleration and propulsion to come out, and you basically blow up tanks and planes and helicopters, and it's basically destroy humans because the Earth is trying to get back at us for the BP spill and all this other stuff we're doing. So I don't know. Who knows? The Earth is pissed.
I'm looking at the screenshot of it. Just looks like a giant furry dong spraying.
Can we say that? Are we allowed to say that?
Well,
what it looks like.
Obviously, Kellen is. So.
Yeah.
Apologies.
If he can say it, then okay, so from now on, furry dong is that's on the allowed list for
it's
the
on the
Droid
white
Life show.
list.
Yeah.
Furry dong.
It's cool to say furry dong in the Droid Life show.
All right, cool.
Sorry, apologies for that.
You apologize for the furry dong?
Yes.
Furry dong.
Oh, Eric already hashtagged furry dong. Except there's like a delay in the chat, so everyone's probably like,
no one knows.
Oh, yeah, see, there it is. There's the question. Bionic's like, furry dong?
You're only seeing the hashtag. He's all the way up in the Snapchat.
Oh, no.
Yeah, you just got, yeah, okay.
No.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Let's move on.
Super Mega Worm, it's 99 cents in Google Play, and your mom will love it. Go check it out.
She might. All right, status update on the 4.3 thread, because this is like riveting stuff.
Yeah, tell me more.
Somebody said Jeff Williams, who is the 4.3 guy, is the hot chick at the bar with the low-cut shirt and no wedding band on her finger. Ease off, guys. Let the dude breathe. Okay, the hot chick at a bar is not a dude, so... All right, that's it. That's the update for that.
Also that's the summary for Google+. That's what to expect.
Yeah, pretty much.
I have some follow-up.
You have follow-up?
From last week. From you guys'
stories. Oh, let's hear it.
I didn't get to be a part of.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah, that's right. You were gone last week.
Yeah. So you guys were talking about Google Play experience phones, and then you guys were mentioning how, like, if when you first get the phone, you can boot up into like a skin or into stock.
Yeah.
Oh yes.
And so that got me thinking the whole time. I was just like, I wasn't yelling in my car, but in my head I was yelling. I was like, what about like Fusion and Fission ROMs that used to be on the Droid 2, which was also mentioned during the podcast. Woot woot Droid 2. Turning people to iPhones left and right.
Oh my gosh, more than any other Android phone.
Yep. But I was like thinking about that, like that aspect of it, of like, and you guys kind of almost got there. Like you guys were talking about like Google releasing their, like the keyboard and stuff like that. Like you can get that on any phone now, and we've talked about in the past, like, hey, just like put out like parts of it. But I think that'd be that'd be an even better option, because there are certainly some things, like especially because like Samsung is picking, like the parts for the Galaxy S4, so they'll know the software that's going to work best for that, because they've been working on it the longest, and Google just got it like a week ago. So like just having parts of it where like, hey, if you want, you can use the stock camera, or you can install the Samsung, the Samsung version of the camera, or whatever. Like that was my favorite thing to do on the Droid 2. Using Fission or Fusion. There were 2 different ones, and I forget what the different ones. But it's like for the stock camera app was horrible on Android on Froyo, and so like being able to load up the Moto one was great. And so you just like picked like the parts that you wanted that were better than stock, and then go from there.
Oh my gosh, that brings back memories.
Remember? It was great.
Man. I remember,
like those manufacturers won't do
Android
it
except for the stupid little social media widget that Moto Blur had back then.
Oh, yep.
Because you could post one status or write it once, and it would post it to like 4 different places, which was really hard to get back in those days.
Yeah, because TweetDeck wasn't built out all the way.
Piece of Moto Blur that I wanted, and that's why I was using that ROM. Oh,
you didn't want the camera. The camera was way better than the stock.
Yeah, I didn't use the camera that much for some reason. I don't know, if that was a
probably because the Droid 2 camera was horrible.
Yeah, I think I stayed away from it because of that.
Yep.
When was the last time Motorola made like a good camera though? Have they ever?
No. The answer is no.
Motorola? A good camera?
Those two together? No.
How could you ask that?
Motorola Mobility or Motorola as they're still making set-top boxes?
Yeah, are you talking about like a walkie-talkie? No, they don't make good cameras.
No, they don't.
Yeah.
Just imagine that.
Moto X, first one. Maybe. Hopefully.
Maybe. We'll see.
Yeah, I don't have anything else. Unless you guys do.
I would have a game, but all my money has been going to Steam sales this week instead of anything on Android, so
good lord.
Don't have.
I did see a bunch of Tinder mentions in the chat.
Yeah, Tinder.
Tim, talk about Tinder just for a second.
All right, well, Tinder's great. Tinder, I tried to explain it as if it was like Pandora for dating, because you could.
Yeah, I saw that description and I did not know what that meant.
Dude, it actually makes a lot of sense because.
Yeah, I mean, I can see it.
It's just like a song that comes on, you can either like it or dislike it, and just like that, a girl comes on your screen, and you can say, okay, I like you, or I dislike you. I don't want to see any more of you because you're nasty.
Is it like a hot or not app essentially?
Yes, it's like a hot or not. And so basically,
but it takes it a step further. Like you're hot, yes.
Right. So if someone else,
it's screw, kill, or marry from Archer.
That'd be nice.
Yeah.
So that would be a good app too. Oh, yeah, we should work on that. So,
really?
anyways,
It wouldn't last very long. Screw, kill, or marry.
Hey, that's not
There's no name that lasts.
So, until I get a cease and desist, man, I gotta go for it. Go for the gold. So, and so if a female or male, whatever is going on, has the app installed, and then they see your profile and you've already liked them, and they like you, then there will be some type of connection made, and bodily fluids will then be, yeah. So that's the point of the app. Dude,
what is going on?
There's no other way to explain it.
Yeah,
I think there are lots of other ways to explain it.
No, because there's no other reason for Tinder to exist.
Anytime bodily fluids are involved.
So
my friend, her roommate is talking to 2 different people that she met through Tinder right now.
Through Tinder?
Yeah.
But they might. That's gonna be a very long and healthy relationship, I guarantee you.
Yeah.
We just got a hashtag Tinder furry dong.
Tinder furry dong.
So you know.
Yeah, this is definitely our most unsafe show, but sometimes you just gotta do it.
Sometimes you just do. So that's Tinder, and it's out. I don't know if you guys saw what Tinder did. They made you share the fact that they wanted to come to Android like 1 million times on Facebook, and then once it got like 100 or 1 million shares, then they released the app. I don't know if you guys knew that, but it was kind of.
I heard about that, but that's just silly.
Yeah, so they told everyone, like, if you want it on Android, you have to share us 1 million times on Facebook, and then we'll finally release it. So
that's ridiculous.
Yeah, so I don't know. I got nothing else. Anything? Anybody?
Nope.
No.
All right. Well, next week, it's kind of tough to say if we're gonna have a show because there's a Google event on Wednesday. Mm-hmm. So we'll be traveling. We'll try. We'll just say that we'll try to do a show next Wednesday.
Ron and I'll do it.
Yeah,
There's just not a lot of
2
guarantees.
party in the middle show. Next
Right in the middle show. There could be hotel room, internet involved, and we know how badly that went the last time. So we'll try. We'll see what we do.
T-Mobile.
We'll keep you updated. So, anyways, if you guys don't have anything else, then we'll just wrap.
No, thanks everyone for joining.
Thanks for joining.
Find me on Tinder.
Like me on Tinder.
Yeah, like me on Tinder.
No.
Yeah, I'll not be on Tinder. So
Nope.
everybody else on Tinder.
Yeah, I'm gonna hang out with my wife.
Yeah.
It's a good idea.
Yeah. All right, we're out.
All
Right. We'll end it on Tinder. For you don't. Peace.
See you, folks.
Goodbye.